So, Trump and RFK Jr. announced today that they found the cause of autism, and apparently it's Tylenol. Yeah, they're claiming that Tylenol use during pregnancy, which is often the only pain medication that pregnant women can take, and they are claiming that Tylenol use during pregnancy is what causes autism. Well, that and vaccines, of course. Here's Trump proving what an incompetent moron he is by having absolutely no understanding of the infant vaccine schedule.
I think it's very bad. They're pumping, it looks like they're pumping into a horse. You have a little child, little fragile child, and you get a vat of 80 different vaccines, I guess, 80 different blends, and they pump it in. So ideally, a woman won't take Tylenol. And on the vaccines, it would be good instead of one visit where they pump the baby, load it up with stuff. You'll do it over a period of 4 times or 5 times. I've been so into this issue for so many years just because I couldn't understand how a thing like this could happen. And
This man has no idea what he's talking about. Like, I've probably taken a child to get vaccinated as many times as Trump has, which is 0, because he had nothing to do with the raising of his children. So he knows nothing about the vaccine schedule. Like, it took me 2 seconds to Google that they don't just do it all at once. Like, it's over several years, because scientists have figured out how to properly administer vaccines. But here we have Donald Trump, a supposed businessman, and RFK Jr., a attorney, just coming in and saying, actually, we need to do it differently, maybe 4 times, maybe 5 times, we don't really know. And then Trump continues to talk about how Tylenol is bad.
Tylenol during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good. For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary.
Who's they, Trump? Who is they that is recommending that women limit use of Tylenol? Is it you and RFK Jr.? Because it certainly isn't doctors or scientists, because there is no actual studies that link Tylenol use during pregnancy to autism. In fact, they're seeing that one of the most prominent reasons for autism is older men having children. But God forbid our government blame men for this problem. Of course, they're going to make it about women and force them to be in even more pain during their pregnancies. I'm predicting it right now. While they're making ivermectin purchasable over the counter, they're going to make it so you have to have a prescription to get Tylenol. And then Trump talks about this weird claim that him and RFK Jr. and all the other weirdo anti-vaxxers are saying that nobody in the Amish community has autism, which, you don't know that. And, of course they do. What are you talking about, man? But he's claiming that they don't take any pills, they don't take any medicine, they've got no problems, they have no autism. Amish people do get vaccinated, and there are instances of autism in the Amish community, and saying there isn't is just irresponsible and insane. Anyway, here's Trump's claim.
By the way, I think I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism. Does that tell you something? Is that a correct statement, by the way?
There are some studies that suggest that, with the Amish, for example.
The Amish, yeah, virtually. I heard none. See, Bobby wants to be very careful with what he says, and he should, but I'm not so careful with what I say. But you have certain groups, the Amish as an example.
RFK's all back there yeah, there are some studies that suggest that's true. What studies, RFK Jr.? You're just lying. And even Trump is I'm not so careful about what I say, and I'm just gonna lie to the entire country and say that the Amish have no diseases and no autism. Absolutely unhinged behavior coming from these people. And then Trump made an even crazier claim, saying that in Cuba they have no autism and they have no Tylenol.
This country is going through what parts of the world are going through, and I will say there are parts of the world that don't take Tylenol. There's a rumor, and I don't know if it's so or not, that Cuba, they don't have Tylenol because they don't have the money for Tylenol, and they have virtually no autism, okay? Tell me about that one. And there are other parts of the world where they don't have Tylenol, where they don't have autism.
First of all, they do have a generic version of Tylenol in Cuba, Trump. And yeah, sometimes supplies are limited. They also absolutely have autism in Cuba. They literally have a dolphin assisted therapy program in Cuba for kids with ADHD and autism. Like, he's literally just lying. He's like, there's a rumor that blah, blah, blah. Like, no, dude, you just made that up in your head. Or you heard RFK Jr. screech it out at you once, but it's literally not true. Nothing you said is true. And I don't know what the motivation is here for RFK or Trump. Maybe they're just sadistic freaks. Like, we all know Trump is. He doesn't care. And RFK Jr., maybe his frontal lobe was eaten by his brain worms. But I really hope that Tylenol sues the crap out of these people, because now they're just scaring people. Like, women are gonna not take Tylenol during pregnancy. And it's like one of the only pain meds that they can take. Like, if you get a high fever that can cause damage to you or the baby, you take Tylenol. But now you're going to have a bunch of anti-vax moms afraid to take Tylenol because the anti-vax president and the anti-vax secretary of human health says Tylenol bad. Like, maybe they want women to suffer. Maybe that's what this is about. Or they just want to pretend that they cured it. And then they're going to come out with some BS studies that says that they, like, saved the world from autism or something. I don't know. I don't know what the point of this is. Like, they're not going to make money off of this unless they're going to come up with their own garbage, like, ivermectin cure for autism. I don't know. But it is horrific and disgusting. Not only is it cruel to pregnant women to tell them they can't take Tylenol, but it's cruel to autistic kids and autistic people in general to have this whole press conference being like, you only exist here in America and there's no autism anywhere else in the world. And it's all because your mom screwed up when she was pregnant with you. And to also talk about autism as if it's just like this horrifying, horrific thing and not just a different way of being a person in the world. And I'm also not trying to, like, downplay autism. Like, people who do have more severe cases of autism, I'm sure that is difficult for their families. But this administration has no interest in actually solving the root issue. They don't actually care about autistic people. And I just fear, knowing everything that we know about this administration, that this is probably just gearing up for something worse. They're not helping anybody with this. They are just harming people. They are lying and they are gaslighting and they are painting an entire population of people to be something that needs to be fixed. It's just awful. The whole thing is so freaking gross, man.